How sweet it is, Philadelphia freedom. I know, whoa, whoa. Yes, I do. Back in the New York groove, do. The Mets take care of business against the Phillies. Sweeping fashion, they are 10-0 against the Phillies the last 10 times they played. It's getting out of hand, the ownage of Philadelphia at Citi Field. It's remarkable. Nolan McLean, man, he's got some Jacob deGrom in him. The hair, the poise, the moxie, the swag. 8 shutout innings. He was brilliant. 4 hits, 6 strikeouts. My favorite stat, 0 walks. Absolutely dominant command from Nolan McLean. And listen, when you're pitching this good, you got to start talking about this guy if they get the playoffs. And they're 4.5 up now over the Reds and the wild card, 4 back in the division. You got to start talking about Nolan McLean in the playoffs. And maybe the league catches up to him. Maybe this is just a couple starts. But the way he looks, the 2-seamer on left-hand hitters, the absurd amount of spin rate on his curveball, the nasty changeup. I mean, he looks unhittable at times. And on Wednesday night at Citi Field, what the Mets were watching was a future ace in the making. And now you start to think about tomorrow and Jonah Tong making his debut. And this is what this fan base and this team, more importantly, needed, was some juice. They're bringing the youth. McLean is dominating. He's the first Mets pitcher in franchise history to go 3-0 his first 3 starts. It's never happened. Seaver, Doc, no one else has done it. So he's doing just unimaginable things, and he's got the best ERA as well at .89. Absolutely remarkable. And the offense, everyone getting involved. Hayden Sanger's bunt was my favorite play of the game. Swaggy V, yet another homer, his 13th. Absolute heater this guy is on. I believe he's got 6 in the last, 10 days? I mean, Mark Vientos is scorching hot. Brett Beatty, a 2-hit game. Lindor, a 2-hit game. Soto, since July 30th, the runners in scoring position, hitting 400 in the last 25 games. So now you got Soto going in the clutch. Everything is clicking right now for the Mets, and in a 6-0 win. And now you're within 4. Can they win this division? Let us know in the comments below. A massive 4-game set coming at Citizens Bank Park in Philly in September 8th through 11th. We'll see where the Mets are at and where the Phillies are at in the next 10 days. But my God, I'll be at those games. That's going to be cinema in Philadelphia. And the Mets have owned the Phillies in New York, but they haven't in Philly. So let's see what happens then. But still a lot of baseball to be played, including tonight as the Mets begin a 4-game series against the Marlins. Again, Jonah Tong tomorrow. You got Clay Holmes tonight, Peterson Saturday, Senga Sunday. It's almost like now with McLean and Tong here, and if Tong lives up to the billing, you got a show every day. I mean, Sean Manaea now is like your worst starter. I mean, are you kidding me? This Mets starting pitching, this is maybe why they didn't make a trade, because they said September, we got McLean, we got Tong, and we haven't even seen Sproat yet. If anyone were to go down, but at this point, Sproat, if he comes up, is probably going to be a piggyback guy. He's not going to be a starter. It's probably going to be Holmes and Sproat or Manaea and Sproat, or we'll see how they work it. But not a bad problem to have too many pitchers. You can never have too much pitching. And the Mets now are in a really good position. Nolan McLean is dazzling. This guy's got so much aura out there. He's great defensively as well. I thought it was good that the final out in the 8th, he barehanded that to get the out. And it was only 6 strikeouts. It's not like he blew him away with strikeout stuff. He was having balls being put in play and lazy grounders and lazy fly balls. Jeff McNeil makes a leaping catch. You're seeing this team playing strong defense, running the bases well, hitting with runners in scoring position, and starting pitching. Again, this is why the Mets were so good the first 2 months, is because they had the best starting pitching in the league. And now you're starting to see it again, and it gets you excited for what is to come for this Mets team. You're watching Mets Daily. I'm your host, Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Live on all social media. Smash that thumbs up. Scan that code. Tomorrow, folks, we are doing the ticket giveaway for members only. So if you're not a member, you are not eligible. It is 2 tickets. The field level was gone, so it's Excelsior box. It's the middle level 300s for Mets Padres, that Thursday afternoon game. September 18th. 2 tickets to the September 18th Mets Padres game. Now, It is your call. If you are a member and you want to sit with another member, I'll give the 2 members each a ticket, or we'll most likely give a pair of tickets to 1 member. We don't have a ton of members right now, so I'm leaning towards just giving 2 to 1, and we'll do the randomized site, and I'll pick a winner. So your last chance today, scan that code. It's $5 a month, and you'll be entered for 2 free tickets to Mets Padres on September 18th. It is a weekday afternoon game, so let me know. If you do win, you can't make it, we'll pick someone else. I know it's tough, but those are the tickets I got. So maybe you play hooky from work from the day, or maybe you work nights. However you can make it work. It is Jose Iglesias, Candelita's return, the 3rd game of the series, a big game against the Padres on that Thursday in September. So again, become a member, hit subscribe first off, and then scan that, click join, and pay the $5 a month and be part of our membership program. Every week, exclusive videos, watch party, and part of this first giveaway. Well, Francisco Alvarez, he might be part of a giveaway soon, and that's for a new hand. This guy cannot catch a break. Getting hit in his rehab game, he doubled first at bat, then second at bat, getting hit on the left hand on his pinky. Now remember, the other injury to his hand, the thumb, was in his right hand. So this guy has 2 unworking hands. I mean, what is going on? And I mean, this is another freak injury. Nothing he can really do about it. But I mean, come on, man. He can't catch a break. And we didn't talk about, because I believe it happened over the weekend, but the Mets did add Ali Sanchez. Remember I mentioned you got to bring in a veteran now, especially now with Alvarez hurt. They do bring in Sanchez. Not much to write home about, but he has played in the big leagues. He was with the Blue Jays earlier this year. So Ali Sanchez in the Mets AAA. So they have him if he's ready. But, I got to shut up about Hayden Sanger. I mean, Hayden Sanger has showed up. I mean, that bunt last night was my favorite. You guys know I love bunts. That was my favorite play of the game, that perfect bunt single past Taijuan Walker. Sanger catching a good game. He's McLean's personal catcher. He hasn't been totally inept at the plate. So shout out to Hayden Sanger, man. He's putting together good at-bats. I got to give him credit. The Mets now have Ali Sanchez if they need him, but I think Sanger is earning himself a spot here until Alvarez comes back. We have not heard yet about the injury. They're checking on it. Let's pray that Alvarez still will return, but this is going to be another nook in the cranny. I can't imagine he's back out there rehabbing today. He's probably going to need a few days. It is the pinky, luckily, but that is his glove hand, the left hand. So, the right hand was the thumb and big for hitting. Left hand you really need as a catcher, who, as a right-hand catcher. So we'll see. Not ideal for Francisco Alvarez. What is ideal is Mets fans showing up, and something we've talked about all year. And I've been debating with a few people today on Twitter about this, but Anthony Tacoma tweeted about the Mets outdrawing the Yankees 4 out of 5 times that they had overlapping games. 40,837 for the Mets, 37,998 for the Yankees. This is a matchups thing. I get it. I think it's important to note the Yankees were playing the Nationals for a couple of these games. One was a weekday afternoon. The Mets were playing the Phillies, so it is a matchup thing. I know Yankee fans are getting defensive about this tweet. I wouldn't really examine this week because they're 100% right. I mean, it's Mets, Phillies, Yankees, Nationals. It's not really competition. But listen, the Yankees have drawn more fans than the Mets this year. But remember, the Yankees have a capacity that holds 7,000 more people with standing room. Yankees around 52 with standing room. Mets around 45 with standing room. And it's important to note that, it's historic. And listen, I do a show every day about the team. So anyone who wants to rip me on Twitter about talking about this is what I do. So if you're just, I'm not putting anyone down, but this is a storyline I look into as a fan who goes to both stadiums, who've been to both stadiums a million times, who knows a ton of people in both ballparks, who have friends in both ballparks. I don't want the Yankees' attendance to fail, but what I'm saying is, the Mets' capacity is around 93 to 94% full. The Yankees are around 91 and 92. So in terms of overall how full the building is, in terms of tickets sold, the Mets in some ways are outdrawing the Yankees, and that's a big deal. Listen, that's never happened before. So for anyone to say it's not a big deal, I tweeted that Citi Field's the far superior stadium. Every Yankee fan I've spoken to has said that. That's not a controversial take. Every Yankee fan says, yeah, I do like Citi Field more. It's just the better stadium. And I think for a lot of times, it's about baseball, and people want to say, I want to see a winning team. Well, the Mets have a better home record than the Yankees, and they almost have identical records as each other. So I don't think that argument is valid this season. Obviously, all time it is. The Yankees have 27, Mets have 2. Yankees just made the World Series 100%. But in terms of this year and present day, I do think it's a big story that the Mets are almost outdrawing the Yankees. I mean, they are the show in town. And I don't think it's just promotions. And if that's the case, listen, I don't think the Yankees team is good enough at this point to be selling on just come to see our baseball. They got to take a page or two from the Mets. You got to do more giveaways, maybe. Maybe you do, maybe they do end up doing a light show. We saw the Yankees maybe try that earlier this year, I believe, at one point. Maybe they got to make it more fan-friendly because I don't think the NY and the Yankee logo is what it used to be. I'm sorry. You get a lot of tourists that go there, people out of town. Obviously, the Yankee logo, symbolically, you have people from different countries that wear it over the Mets logo. But the reality is the Yankees are going to have to take a page or two from the Mets because it's not an automatic sellout because you're the Yankees anymore. And that's where I think this is a story. The Mets fans are showing up in numbers, giveaway or not. I don't think it's just been giveaway days. It's been every day. It's every weeknight. It's not just a giveaway. And shout out to the Mets. Listen, if giveaways are what it takes, combined with winning and Juan Soto, so be it. They sold out season tickets this year. It's not just giveaways. It's people who were excited by Soto, excited what last year's team brought. And I do think it's a big deal that the Mets, in terms of percent capacity, are outdrawing the Yankees because it's never happened. So it's the first time in history. It's something that we have to talk about. It is a story. And I know Yankee fans are going to get mad about it, but there's no reason to get mad. I think it's good to acknowledge that Mets fans now are showing up. And I think fans should show up for a winning team. And shout out to the fans who are. So that's all I got to say about that. You're watching Mets Daily. Thanks for watching, everybody. Mets Marlins 4-game series. Shout out to Phil. We gave him Hyundai Club tickets on my Twitter giveaway at Jake Brown Live. And thanks for supporting Mets Daily, all those who subscribed. If you're a new viewer, we'll try and do some more giveaways. But I was given Hyundai Club tickets and a parking pass. So shout out to Phil on Twitter who won those. Enjoy the game tonight, Phil. And enjoy the game, everyone, tonight. Let's go, Mets. We're riding high. 4 back in the division. We're right back in it. 4.5 up in the wild card. Good vibes in Mets land. Jonah Tong tomorrow. Can't wait to talk about Tong tomorrow. And hopefully another Mets win tonight. Thanks for watching Mets Daily.